Hello and welcome back to Comp 2. Today I'm going to be going over your research essay. All of the information in this presentation and much more can be found in the assignment instructions, so make sure that you read through those thoroughly. So let's talk about your research essay. For this assignment, you are going to compose a research-based essay that demonstrates your ability to analyze text, integrate sources, and build an original argument connected to the things that we've been talking about this semester: empathy, rhetoric, and even civic engagement. This essay will be at least 1,200 words, not including your works cited page, and you have to use a minimum of 4 scholarly sources in addition to the book that we've been reading, What Unites Us. It will be in MLA format. That means 12-point Times New Roman, double spaced, all of that. If you have questions about your MLA formatting, make sure you go back and check your resources or send me an email and let me know. For the submission of this assignment, you are going to upload it as a Word document to eCampus by the due date. So you have some prompts that you can choose from for this essay. The first one is Empathy in Divided Times, Bridging Cultural Divides. And if you choose this prompt, you're going to analyze how Dan Rather describes the role of empathy in overcoming social and political divisions, use examples from What Unites Us, explore how personal narratives and perspective taking can bridge cultural gaps. You can look at media, storytelling, and collective understanding. If you choose this prompt, you're going to be examining Rather's perspective on how media and storytelling contribute to shared identity, discuss how journalism and digital storytelling foster empathy and dialogue. You can look at civic engagement and community resilience. If you choose this prompt, investigate Dan Rather's arguments about local community engagement. Connect his examples to grassroots initiatives or local community projects that demonstrate empathy in action. And then the last prompt that you can choose from is Generational Perspectives on American Identity. If you choose this prompt, I want you to compare and contrast how different generations understand American identity through empathy. Use Rather's historical example, supplemented by your own interviews and outside sources. So let's talk about the source guidelines for this essay. You are required to use the book that we have been reading, What Unites Us by Dan Rather. In addition to that, you will use at least 4 scholarly sources. These are peer-reviewed, credible sources. So you cannot use things like Wikipedia, personal blogs, unsourced websites, or even social media posts. If you choose to incorporate any of those sources for perspective, you may do so, but they do not count towards your 4 source minimum in terms of scholarly sources used. Your essay needs to have a clear and arguable thesis statement. I'm looking for the effective use of ethos, pathos, and logos. I want to see your research sources integrated well, and I want to see strong organization in your essay. There should be flow from paragraph to paragraph. Remember, we're not looking for the typical high school 5-paragraph essay. I'm looking at a real deep dive into academic thought on these topics. And then, of course, your essay will need to be in MLA format with MLA citations and a works cited page. I will be evaluating your essay on the following criteria. I'm going to be looking at your thesis and argument. I'm going to be looking at your use of sources. I'm going to be looking at your organization and development. I'm going to be looking at your analysis and critical thinking skills. And of course, I'm going to be looking at mechanics and MLA format. And you can find out more information on each of these evaluation criteria on the assignment instructions and the rubric. If you have questions about this project, please feel free to reach out. I am always willing to help you, to sit with you, to read your work, and really just get in there and be your support in the writing process.